Shalom, shalom. It's your favorite Ak. Had to get up before the sunrise to get the driveway plowed along with the walkway over here. Just decided to jump on. Been out here about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's still the sun. It's not up yet. Some of you are sleeping too long to be successful. You're gonna sleep your success away. You're gonna have dreams, but it won't become reality because you're stuck in your dream state. At some point in time, you're gonna have to get up and make it happen. So people want to have a vision, but I will say what's equally important in the vision is going to be your work ethic. If your vision doesn't incorporate your work ethic, then it's just a dream, it's just a wish list. You're going to have to get up and you're going to have to do some things in order to accomplish some things. So it's no longer, so you can't even see me no more. And I didn't been out here and I didn't done the whole driveway and the pathway. Sometimes the work you do behind the scenes, it probably won't be seen or appreciated, but it still needs to be done. Everybody won't see the early hours you get up. They won't acknowledge the hard work you put in, but they'll see your results. And they're like, man, I want some of that. I want to do that. But then you tell them what you did to do that. Oh man, that's too much. You're doing the most. So you got to get to a point where you're willing to work behind the scenes to make your dream come true. And it won't always be comfortable. You know, got about 1.5 inches of snow last night and probably going to get more tonight. So I bet there's somebody that recognized that it snowed yesterday and it's scheduled to snow today. Well, I'm going to shovel my driveway while I don't wait till it's all done. Because then it's compound on you. Now you got to do so much more than what you originally started to do. So just do it while you can. There's a season that we're entering into where it's all you can do is all you can do. You just got to ensure you do all you can do. Don't stop short of your all, because when you stop short of your all, then you won't accomplish your goals. Then you'll be mediocre. Then you'll be left behind. Especially in the season we're entering now. We're entering into a season where excellence is going to be required. Excellence is going to be required. You're no longer just going to be able to do just enough to get by. You're no longer just going to be able to just show up and they be happy that you're there. You're no longer going to have the ability to just skate by. The environment we enter into now is going to be excellence, or you're going to be exiled. You're going to be on the outside looking in. There's a divide that's happening, and it's slowly happening under the umbrella of comfort and convenience. And that divide that's happening is going to be like over the next 5-7 years, even if it takes that long, the middle class is about to be gone. The middle class of where people used to not have an education and go get a factory job, and then they can start making 6 figures at a factory, or they could, do little jobs, odd ends, let's say to augment their retirement. Let's say they were prepared and they had a retirement, but there's people that used to be greeters and cashiers at, various different supermarket stores to augment their retirement. Those jobs are being taken away. Even jobs such as forklift drivers. At our workplace, we got automated forklift drivers. So if you had a skill set of the ability to drive a forklift before, you would be able to feed your family. You'll be able to say, okay, I got a skill set. I can go anywhere because there's warehouses. Everybody in the warehouse need a forklift to move this. And in their mind, they thought, they had a skill set that was enduring. But now they got these automatic things, and they started ushering it into us early. When you go to various different supermarket stores, you see these automatic floor sweepers, and they just roaming around the store with sensors, and they don't need anybody to operate them. That was somebody's job that had to do that. Somebody would have to come in after hours and work to get those floors clean. But they slowly integrated you into being acceptance to a computer doing that job. So no longer did this person have that job. So what is this person doing? If he hasn't improved, or he or she hasn't improved their skill set, then they're on the outside looking in, and they get into the position of needing government assistance. And then once they get you into the position of needing government assistance, what's happened? Then they cut government assistance. So in essence, they kind of did a slow cut on you, just kind of just going back and forth with a little butter knife over your vein, and you just like, oh, it's just a butter knife. It's just a butter knife. But if you notice on those butter knives, they got those little grooves on it. And over the course of years, through comfort and convenient, they've been getting through the outer layer of your skin, and now they're going to cut off your life support, and it's getting down to where you got a cut vein, and now you bleeding out because you don't have the skill sets necessary to get to where you want to be. And then, the government assistance that they were providing you to augment you being on hard times are now being pulled from underneath the rug. So within the next 5 to 7 years, if you're not careful, you're going to be on the outside looking in, and the same people that you may be driving by now and you seeing holding the sign, "Will work for food," you may be seeing a foreshadow of yourself and what you need to do. And I know some of you are going to try to say, well, I'll just take it for someone else, but make sure it's not here, because them 556 and 762 is going to help, deter you from doing something like that. But you're going to have to do something to augment or to be able to survive in this season. And the answer is excellence. You got to find your niche in something and be the best at it. You got to be indispensable. Like, oh, we got to get rid of everybody before we get rid of him. Like, and a lot of times people don't want to go the extra mile. They say the track is empty on the extra mile. There's no traffic on the extra mile. When you go on that extra mile, when you go the first mile, it's crowded because everybody got a dream and vision to, okay, I want to do this, and they start. But when it gets into where you're tired and you got to kick in to the extra mile, there's not a lot of people that's going to go be on that extra mile. So there's room for you to really flourish. And that extra mile is excellence. Yesterday morning, I was up at 4 a.m. on the meeting. 4 a.m. My duty day, my work day doesn't start till 6. But I got customers and stuff that's in Europe, that's in the UK, that's in Africa. And based on the time zone when they had a meeting, it required me to get up at 4 a.m. to log on my computer and get on the meeting. I was on the meeting early. First of all, I already get up at 3:45, in the morning to go get my workout in. So when they had a meeting there and they sent me a meeting invite, I looked at the time, I'm like, man, 4 a.m.? I'm gonna have to miss a workout, but man, this is a season where you're gonna have to do things. And a lot of people are like, oh no, man, I wouldn't do that. They would have just had to give me the notes. But when it comes down to it, and I'm in a position now, and I'm not saying this out of arrogance, but if I were to be let go, I can sustain my retirement and disability. Like, I'm not going to lose my house. I'm working for my lifestyle so I can travel and I can do various different things. So I'm not even in the need to where I need to work in order to feed my family. I can do that. I mean, I would have to alter, I'm not going to be driving the newest vehicles and stuff like that, but I still can get by. When I was going through flight school, I got to meet Lieutenant Colonel Carter of the Tuskegee Airmen. And he said, excellence is the only defense against ignorance. Excellence is the only defense against ignorance. And he went through, their catalog of the story of, when they went to fly, they all scored in the 99 percentile of scores for the aptitude test to fly. And they thought they cheated. So when they got down to flight school, they tested them again just to ensure that they had got the score. And a lot of them got better scores. They got the same score or better. And he says they could not have an indictment against excellence. Excellence is your only defense against ignorance. So even when you become excellence, yes, they're going to lobby things at you and accusations. Oh, you think you're smart because you scored 99? Yeah, that's what the aptitude says. But so even their insults and indictments against you will be compliments to your work ethic and your excellence. They had to work harder and they had to go through a lot of oppressions and rejections, but it got to a point when they were escorting bombers, they were the only ones escorting bombers that weren't shot out the sky. So then they went from being oppressed and rejected to being like, oh no, we want them to escort us because we're trying to get home to our family. So when you're excellent, it's going to supersede anything else. You're going to be in demand. But if you're just mediocre and you're just trying to do enough to get by, nah, you about to find some hard times. Two things you're going to find. You're going to find a hard time. You're going to find yourself unemployed and on your way out. So get into a point where Even if you just start today, you got to start working towards excellence today. You got to become better today. There's no waiting for tomorrow, no delay. I'll start, in the springtime. You don't have that much time to become the best. So wherever you're working at, or if you're in school, whatever you're doing, they say when a bear coming, you ain't got to be the fastest. You just got to be more faster than the people that you're with. So you got to outpace the people that you're working next to. And it's not like, okay, man, they barely paying me this and it's not worth it. I'm not going to be busting my tail for this, and I'm not really making what I want to be making. But let them take that little away. Then how much you're going to be making? So you got to retrain your mindset. This is survival mode. You got to get into grind mode to where you're willing to do what it takes to become the best at what you're capable of being. Because in the end, and I yelled at this because I've been trying to keep these videos short when I do get on here, it gets down to this. You're going to be held accountable for the gifts and talents that's within you anyway. This parable of the talents, when the Most High gave, God had 5 talents, gave one 3, and gave one 1. And the ones with 3 and 5, they went and multiplied. They made it do what it do. They came out and made it better. And the one who had just 1 talent, he went and buried it in the ground and said, well, I didn't want to lose it because I knew you were a hard taskmaster. And long story short, he cursed them like, you wicked servant. So these gifts and talents that you have, you got to go make it do what it do anyways. You got to be excellent because you're going to be held accountable for it. So if you are a cashier and you one of the 2 that's in the store, you got to be the best one. So when it's time to lay one off, they're going to like, nah, I can't lay such and such off because they're faithful. They're going to be here. And this other person has been calling in sick. If you are a construction worker, if you are an admin clerk, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, whatever it may be. And I know it's going to take a while for the private sector to hit it. But once it hits the federal side, it just give you a preempt strike that's going to happen to the private side. There's an executive order out there for the DEI exclusion to get rid of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And a lot of people will look at you as being a minority and say, oh, that was a DEI hire. Nah, this ain't DEI. My resume better than my boss's boss. So it's like, I didn't already put in 28 years of excellence, and now I'm just trying to do something for lifestyle. But I say all this to say this. Do not be impacted by DEI. If you're excellent, you will be able to get by. Now, I'm not going to say there's no racism and there's no systemic racism and things that you have to be aware of. But when you're the best of the best, you're going to land on your feet. Make sure you stay excellent. Shalom, shalom.